All right, welcome to another episode of First Time Pictures. You got your two hosts, Julian Lizama and Anthony Ruth, and today we're going to be capping off the month of October with Five Nights at Freddy's. Are you ready, bro?
I am so ready. I'm so hyped to talk about this, bro.
Just letting you know, I figured it out. Two
Whoa.
movies for the next two movies that we're gonna do.
Oh,
I
you
don't
have
mean
them?
to like,
Off the
yeah, I
rip.
don't mean to
Starting the
take over the
episode
pod.
just saying, I know what we're doing already?
I just wanted to prepare you because
Okay.
I just saw one coming out in theaters and I'm like, oh,
Ooh.
there's a movie that we could watch before this and then review a theater one. So
Okay, nice.
yeah, it's too good to pass up.
Kind of like this
Anyways,
one. Kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's because the second one is coming out
oh,
in
true.
December,
We'll
which,
see if it's good enough to warrant watching the second one.
okay, fine. But
You don't like that?
nonetheless, bro, I'm ready to get into the Five Nights at Freddy's review. First, first question before anything.
Yeah.
Before even watching or anything, what was like in your head the idea of Five Nights at Freddy's? Like,
Okay. So I've never, still to this very moment that we're recording the pod, I've never seen a single piece of footage from the video game. So I don't
wow,
have any,
that's
yeah, I don't
crazy.
have any expectations or nothing
Okay.
whatsoever. I just seen the commercial, so I obviously knew like the concept. Imagine if Chuck E. Cheese was trying to kill everyone. And
Yeah.
yeah, but beyond that, I didn't know why. I didn't know how. I didn't know why they had to
Okay.
be in there because I'm like, if there was like an abandoned killer robots, like, do you get trapped or yeah, I had no idea what was gonna happen.
Okay, nice. So literally when you're watching this movie, you know nothing about the animatronics, their names, or like no lore about that at all then.
Absolutely no lore. Walk me through how the game does it and how the movie does it because like what type of
Right.
game is this?
So for Five Nights at Freddy's, what basically it is a horror game, right?
Uh huh.
And you are this security guard, and you're working at Freddy Fazbear's Entertainment
Freddy
or something like that, right?
Fazbear's, yeah, the shop or the
Diner.
yeah the pizza diner.
Yeah, so you're a security guard, and the objective of the game is survive 5 nights at that place, Freddy's. And basically, the animatronics come to life, and they're trying to kill you.
Okay.
And that's like the premise of the game, where you're the security guard, you're checking hallways, and on the security camera you might see one of the animatronics like outside your door, and then you have to like barricade yourself inside the door or flash a flashlight at them, and they get scared. So that was the premise of the game, but within the game they had like super deep lore. So like how communities, if they get into a game or something,
Uh huh.
they're gonna try to break down every little aspect and make a story. So
Yeah.
from like the first game, little hints were dropped of this guy and this guy, and then over the span of
Mm.
I think there's actually 8 games
Oh
out.
my gosh.
There's there's like 11 books and now a movie. So there's a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's like lore
Yeah.
content basically. And yeah, the movie really like just take some of like from game two and from game one, and they kind of all mesh it together. So it's not really like the first game is like a direct
Sequel.
um yeah, or like it's not like the first game and the movie are like, okay, first game is gonna be the first movie. It's not like that where they just take exact story beats or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's kind of they're just expanding on who is this Mike Schmidt guy, and what's his life like, not just some security guard. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what the movie tries to do is bring that game to life.
Yeah.
And me, bro, honestly, growing up, Five Nights at Freddy was like
I
the
knew
shit, bro.
this was
Like,
gonna be another Mario movie situation where you're like, this movie's so
no.
fucking good. The references.
No, references are cool. I love references. But dude, growing up in like what was this 2014 era? No, 2012 era, I think. Um, I think 2014, where all the YouTubers posting Five Nights at Freddy stuff. I had Five Nights at Freddy's like one, two, and three on my phone. They were like $5. They weren't free, bro. You had to buy for it. So I paid the money to have Five Nights at Freddy's on my phone, and then you just have to play it at like night. Like that's when it's most
Oh,
fun, bro.
okay.
And then it's scary because their sound is like creepy, eerie, and then when the jump scare of one of the animatronics, it's
Yeah.
terrifying,
Bro,
bro. Like,
every time I see a streamer playing any type of horror game, they make it look so
hmm
fun. I've been dying to play one like so badly.
But yeah, no, Five Nights at Freddy's super awesome. It was huge in the YouTube. Some cameo and stuff of that. I don't know if you've noticed that were in the movie. I don't know if you've ever seen a YouTuber called Film Theory.
Never.
Never. Like he's one of these YouTubers who would like break down a show and be like, "That's just a theory, a film theory." You never heard that?
Never, no.
Never heard that. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay, so then he started a YouTube channel, Film Theory. It's massive. It's like he's like a really big YouTuber. And then he started another one called Game Theory, which he would break down games. And at the time he was breaking down Five Nights at Freddy's, he was massive. Like he was like probably the biggest YouTuber at the time, posting Five Nights at Freddy's content. And like everyone just liked his videos because he's a good storyteller of the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. And he was actually in the movie at the diner scene. The guy who said breakfast, and they're like, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and then he's
Uh-huh.
like, actually, some people say, and then he goes, but that's just a theory, and like his
Oh, it's a little
catchphrase,
reference
like,
to his.
yeah, so yeah, it's for what he did for the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, enough lore stuff. I think if you've never heard of Five Nights at Freddy's, you kind of get the aspect of what the game was like,
Yeah.
because it's just a horror game in an arcade, and there's haunted animatronics, and you're trying to survive 5 nights. Yeah, that's kind of what this movie is. Mike Schmidt is a man who is taking care of his younger sister Abby, and he takes a security job at the old Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. What seems like a quiet gig turns creepy when the restaurant animatronics start coming to life after dark. As the night goes on, Mike learns his robots are haunted by a ghost of missing children connected to a dark past. His own memories of his kidnapped brother begin to resurface, tying his story to the mystery inside Freddy's. With the help from a local cop named Vanessa, Mike uncovers the truth about the man behind it all, William Afton, and faces a nightmare he can't escape. So, yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's was directed by a lady named Emma Tammy, which I don't know if you've ever heard of her.
Emma
I've never
Tammy.
heard of
Nope, never
her.
heard of
Yeah, so Emma Tammy, if you're listening, sorry I haven't seen your other works, but Five Nights at Freddy's, I saw it.
her.
Um, and then yeah, so this was obviously inspired by the hit game Five Nights at Freddy's. Do you know the names of the animatronics off the top of your head?
No clue. No clue whatsoever.
No.
No.
Did you pay attention to the movie,
I
bro?
did, bro. I
What
swear.
the heck? Oh my goodness. I hate you. So this had a $20 million budget and grossed $297 million, bro. Like
200
this movie
and how much?
97 million. So almost 150x, or I don't know how that works, but times its amount.
Yeah, that's
So,
insane.
but even though it did good in the box office, Rotten Tomato score 32%.
I saw that. I did see that.
uh, the popcorn meter though 87%. So I mean the fans
So fans
are the
or
fans.
casuals loved it. Critics did not.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's how the movie starts. It starts off with that scene of the Freddy Fazbear's, and they're showing like a security guard or a guy get caught by the animatronics,
Yeah,
and then you see these big old Barney looking character.
yeah.
I was gonna ask you, did they look scary to you in the movie, or were they kind of like distractingly silly?
I do. Yeah, it's a pretty creepy concept. It's not bad. Like for having those be like the killers, they probably give me just as much creeps as like any other villain or horror concept. They're Like anytime you take a child concept, you know how they do like Annabelle with the dolls or a
Hmm.
clown with it or
Yeah.
anything like that turned creepy always amplifies it by like times two or whatever, but very creepy.
A crazy opening scene. Imagine like the little kids who came. Yeah, it was rated PG-13, but still like
Really? It was
opening
only PG-13?
only. You think it should have been like R or something?
Well, only considering the one scene where that woman gets chopped in half and you see half of her body
Oh.
plop down. I'm like, I wouldn't let my 13-year-old son see that. That is not
Yeah.
13 rated. That's rated R.
Yeah.
But
I don't
I
know.
think
That's
maybe it's just the amount of blood. Like for some reason, they're extremely particular about blood. So they could show bodies
mm,
being cut in half, but it's like if there's no blood squirting out, then it's all fine. It's all fun and games.
yeah, that whole sequence when they're just murdering everyone is
Yeah, it's
pretty
crazy.
brutal. Okay, yeah, something that I thought was pretty cool. The same people called Jim Henson's Creative Shop. The same people that created the Muppets created these animatronics.
Wow.
So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like,
Yeah.
the Muppets made these? Like, no wonder they're so like they have good dimensions and they look solid. Like
Yeah.
they're
Good
they're created by
design.
the best.
Right?
Okay, so yeah, that's the opening scene, and then we kind of get introduced to Josh
Hutchinson?
Hutcherson. Oh, yeah, the GOAT. Honestly, I don't know why I just like him as an actor. Maybe because of Hunger Games, and I really liked Hunger Games, but he's like just
He
every time I
seems
see him, I'm like,
yeah,
yeah.
he seems like one of those uh young adult actors that kind of define like those blockbuster movies around the
Hmm.
2012 2015 era, like I just know if he had a movie coming out, there was also like a movie with Jennifer Lawrence that was out, or like just like
Oh,
that there's
okay.
certain, of course they're both in Hunger Games, but like I just feel like they
Yeah.
define that era of movies.
Oh yeah, them too. Like they were in Everything or Everywhere. He
Yeah.
he had that one movie when he was really younger, like was it Journey to the Center of the Earth or something like that?
Oh
Or
yeah, that's where I know him from.
is that what
Journey
it's
to
called? Journey to the Center of the Earth?
Yeah, Journey to the Center of the Earth. That's crazy. 2008. See, I knew he was like just some classic, like early 2000s actor. I'd seen him in so many classics.
Yeah. I just like him. So when he was in this movie, I was like, "What are you doing in this movie, bro? What could like?" I was like, "Okay." Like it makes me like it just a little more. The fact that's Five Nights at Freddy, I was like, "Okay, that's cool." And then uh, I
Hutcherson.
can't say his name. What the heck? Josh Hutcherson is in it. I'm like, okay, that gives it like an extra cherry on top. Um, but yeah, we're introduced to his character. He's a security guard, like tweaking out at the mall, and just like beats that guy up in the fountain. Like
Yeah.
pretty crazy opening
Like
scene
when
to our
he
main
said,
character.
I thought he was kidnapping kid, even then I'm like, bro, that's not a logical sequence of events. Like, I see a guy grab a kid, I beat the fuck out. Like, you're insane. You're mentally insane.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking, bro. Like that
Yeah.
is definitely not the chain of command that you go up like
Right?
in that sequence.
Like, you turn him in, bro. You're not supposed to kill him then and there. Jesus. And then it was
He takes
actually his son. Like, that was the father.
he takes his
I'm
job
just saying,
seriously.
bro, I'm not letting some random security guard beat
Watching
me
you.
senseless in
He
front of
couldn't
my
do
kid.
nothing.
Like, I'm
Couldn't do
fighting
nothing
back.
about it, bro. Like
Imagine your
Josh
son seeing
Hutcherson.
you get beat senseless. Yeah, by a random.
He-
Embarrassing. Bro, he's like 5'7", 5'6". Embarrassing.
I know what a crazy scene, and it really shows just how crazy
Yeah.
our main character is, Mike. But
Yeah. How
which I
traumatized
was
he
gonna ask
is.
you, what did you think about his whole vision thing? Like, was that kind of like,
Like the
yeah,
dream walking thing, or like
yeah?
the Inception type stuff.
I was like not confused, but I was like, I don't care about this. But then like,
Yeah.
what is this leading us to? And then what it kind of does lead us to at the end
Yeah, it
is
definitely added a layer of, because you know how there's like there's several layers of, I guess, mysticism with the bears. You know how it's like they're possessed in a way. So I'm
Like in
just
the
like,
world.
when you add, yeah, like the reason they're being like controlled is because they're possessed by the bodies of those kids.
Yeah.
So, but when they're appearing in the dream, it just it did add a level of like, okay, how does this work exactly? Like, where is this going?
Yeah.
Like, how do they always get someone in their dreams? Is that just an ability they have, or are you
Yeah.
only haunted in your dreams if you're there at Freddy's? Like, how many people are
Okay.
falling asleep at Freddy's on the night shift in that creepy ass? I don't know. Like, of course you don't have to explain everything, but it does make you. It was making me think about it during the movie because I'm like, wait, are they like Freddy Krueger? You know, like they're gonna if they
Oh,
can
yeah,
they
like
kill you in the
how?
dream?
Yeah, because he
Yeah,
hurt
like
him.
how
He
does this
scratched
work?
him in the dream.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, if y'all want to kill him, why don't y'all just do it like in the dream? I guess I don't know.
Because, I mean, in hindsight, like when I was watching it, I was like, okay, what is this dream aspect about? And then at the end, where they kind of link it together with, oh, the brother is one of the kids, like,
Yeah,
I was like, okay. I was like, very crazy coincidence, I guess.
yeah,
But,
very crazy coincidence.
but the dream thing, I was like, okay, whatever. I'm looking past that. Um, then Mike, whatever, he loses his job as a security guard at a mall, and then he gets in that interview room with that one guy. I forgot what his name is. Matthew Lillard. Do you know him from anything?
Matthew Lillard. Oh
He's
yeah, he became very popular from like recently. I think.
Oh, he was Shaggy.
Yeah, so like
Oh, what?
he had all this
That's
uh
crazy.
resurgence of fame and popularity like recently because of so many memes from that Shaggy movie that I think it revived his career a bit because he started
What?
being in stuff like directly after like those memes and everything became popular, and then people started to have a cult following for that movie, you know?
Yeah. Cause
So like people want to see him again because then they have like, oh yeah, I did like this movie when I was younger, even though
mhm.
I never watched it. That just seemed like what what the vibe was around his popularity rising in recent years.
That's what happens a lot too. Like shows like The Office, where they say themselves, like when the show is coming out, like on air weekly, like no one cared about their show. And they
Oh, like
said
they weren't at the height of their
their popularity.
popularity.
Yeah, and then it wasn't until, all the streaming services got The Office, and then boom, The Office becomes like one of the biggest shows, and now they're famous
Yeah,
again like 10, 15 years later, and from that fan base that they just got, but that wasn't originally there. It's kind of funny how sometimes like you get that second life, as a celebrity.
yeah, a little resurgence. Just like what's his name? The guy who was in the Journey to the Center of the Earth.
I don't remember
He
that
was in the
movie.
Whale. Oh, you don't? He's in
No.
the Whale. Brandon Fraser.
Oh, Brandon Fraser. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like another resurgence where it's like, wait, we like this guy. Like, why did
yeah.
Hollywood get rid of him? We like him.
Yeah, so that guy is interviewing, Shaggy is interviewing Mike Schmidt
Yeah.
and gives him the job at Five Nights at Freddy's, whatever. But when you were watching it, were you like, this guy's shady? This is gonna be in something weird, or did you dismiss it as, okay, this guy's gone for the rest of the movie?
I wouldn't have immediately suspected him to know about it and be like involved in any way if he wasn't like, yeah, this pizza place is a little nostalgic and I guess the owner just has a little soft spot. And I'm like, bro,
You
it's
gave it
too on
away?
the nose.
No.
Instantly gave it away. Like,
Oh my
not that he was
goodness.
like a psychopath killer who killed children, but I was just
Yeah.
like, he had this vibe of like, I'm so excited to send you to your death. Like, this is so fun for me. And so I was like, you're involved in some way. Like, you know what's up. I didn't know that he was the ringleader, but I knew he knew what was up.
Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah. From the games, his name is William Afton, and
Uh huh.
some lore of the game, real quick. Um, you know, back in the day. this guy named William Afton started up a place, and he had the, you know, uh, idea to create these things called spring lock suits, which is, you can set them on stage and they'll dance, but then
Uh huh.
when you turn them off, they open up the inside so a real person can go inside. And then, the Chuck E. Cheese gets that experience of, oh, Chucky was on stage dancing, singing, and then he comes out on stage as a person, and then there's someone inside now, and he's like, hey, like, I'm Freddy Fazbear. So that was
Oh.
William Afton, and he had that shop. And then basically he partners up with this other guy, and they start a business together and basically make it go corporate, and they start up chains.
Yeah.
So when they open up a second chain is kind of where this movie kind of takes inspiration from, because when they open up a second chain, that's when William Afton does those murders that are talked about in the movie, where he does murder, uh, four kids, and then puts them inside of those animatronics, and that's how they gain consciousness. So when they put William Afton, I was like, oh, off the rip, like, okay, this guy is definitely, like, obviously if you when you're watching it,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, this is the guy, this is how he gets set up. Um, but yeah, that's that William Afton's character where he's obviously evil, sends our boy Mike to go work at the Freddy Fazbear's. And then they show actually the inside of Freddy Fazbear's, which I was gonna ask you, what did you think about the whole aesthetic, like that whole, classic? Doesn't it feel like,
Like Chuck E.
I feel
Cheese,
like
like some
codes?
classic '80s pizza.
Like, did you go to Chuck E. Cheese a lot? Like, did you feel
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely.
And like, you would see the animatronics up there, like they,
Yeah, there's something about that like '90s, '80s vibe. Like I could
yeah.
imagine like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles eating pizza from here or something. Like it just had that like classic kids '90s vibe about it.
Yeah, I really like the set. It was like, even all the characters, how they all fit in, it all felt like a good aesthetic. Like when they showed,
Yeah.
that first night, he's like turning on all the lights, like it's his first day on the job, and they kind of show everybody, and then they show that creepy scene of the animatronics just kind of standing there, like so lifeless, and he's just like looking at them and like, like, I don't know. You as a viewer, like, I'm just like, oh, those guys are murderers. Like they're gonna kill. Just you're watching in suspense, like what's gonna happen. Um,
Yeah.
and then there's like this kind of subplot going on at the same time, right? Like you have the main plot, which is like the whole murder, Five Nights at Freddy's, and then you have like this, what's it, like child custody battle, like subplot going on,
Yeah.
like with the
Yeah.
sister, like, which I didn't really care about. I was like, bro, I'm trying to see freaking Five Nights at Freddy's inside. I don't care about this aunt and whatever she's doing. Like, and I feel like they did
Yeah.
spend a good chunk of time doing that. Where I was like, bro, I just want to see murder, Five Nights at Freddy's stuff going on. Uh,
Yeah.
just like the game.
Running away from the robots and having to deal with them.
So then they have that subplot where the babysitter backstabs Mike, like it be your own, and she was working with the aunt to get dirt on Mike, and the aunt's just such a, a bitch, and then she has
I know.
that lawyer with her the whole time. Like I didn't really care for him, but I was like, what is this guy? Like comedic relief, I guess. But then
Right?
they set him up to go do that break in, and this is where I think the most Five Nights at Freddy's stuff happens, where they're just
Yeah, right? Like the
murdering.
actual like robots like scaring and killing people, like the most of it happened. But with that being said though, I think some of my favorite parts of the movie were later on when they're like being around the robots and they're actually like, oh, like they're just kids. I did like that
Interesting.
aspect a lot.
Mike, when he sees the animatronics come to life, he's just like, "Oh, okay, like that's cool. That's fine." Like,
Yeah.
would you not just start tripping balls? Like, I feel like that's the only thing you can do if Like Mike just sees them walking, like, yeah, they're alive, and he's like, okay, like that makes sense. Like,
right? Like it's way more insane, like concept if you were to run into it than it was portrayed. Like even though he is
yes,
freaked out, it is like a like like if you've seen those prank videos where people see like a teddy bear start moving, they
uh,
literally start losing their minds like in real life.
yes,
So if people saw these animatronics moving, they would be going crazy. I would be going crazy. I'd be screaming like a little girl trying to get away from them.
I know
Even
he.
if they were acting friendly, I would be like,
Oh
just like
hell
yelling my head out.
no!
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was new to like the. I'm speaking from the fan base here. Like, it was kind of strange. You're like, what? They're never nice, like the bears or the
Oh,
animatronics.
really? They never had that in the
No,
games.
they murder. That's all they do. Like, they're murderers. And
Oh.
kind of the premise and some of the lore it starts dumping into the games is that William Afton, since he murdered those kids and put them inside the suits, when they take over, they're they're trying to get vengeance on William Afton. And so you as a security guard are basically mistaken for William Afton and they try to kill you. So
Oh.
that's kind of why they're even coming after you and all of that because they're kind
Bro,
of
that's so much better.
right.
Cause in this movie they made it where it's like they literally say they forget that he did that to them, so they obey him. I'm just like, okay, like I don't know. How do you be like? I, I have a lot more to say about that, but we'll talk about that when we get to it.
No, yeah, that's kind of what's we can kind of talk about that because like after the break-in scene, this is kind of where all this weird stuff starts happening with Abby, and then the dreams start linking up, and then Abby can talk to them for some reason, and maybe it's because she's a child, kid spirit, I don't know, but yeah, what were you gonna say about that you said you would talk about?
Well, it's like the ending. The like, because my biggest problem with this film, like, it bothered me so much was how they
Uh-huh.
handled the murder of like the children and the whole plot of uh William Afton being like a serial child killer,
Yeah.
and also his daughter Vanessa Shelley, like
Yeah.
that whole concept. I feel like they fumbled so hard because I'm like
Yeah.
one, if Mike Schmidt's brother was one of the kids that William Afton killed,
Yeah.
why did they not have an opportunity to put where the body of his brother is in one of those suits?
Yeah.
Because then it could have had this like super tragic scenario of where like maybe he knows how to stop the robots, but now one of the robots is one of is his brother. And then imagine if it like he knew his brother to like have a fondness for, I don't know, certain type of video games, and then so he sees that his brother's soul like still exists in this robot. And then the fact that he encounters the person who killed his brother and kidnapped him,
Mm-hmm.
but there's absolutely no resolution whatsoever. Like,
Yeah.
because even though he's quote unquote defeated, when he's like taken inside the suit and they take him away, it wasn't clear if he was dying or if he's becoming one of them. And then if he
Yeah.
becomes one of them, it's still like, okay, so there's still no justice for this kid,
Mm-hmm.
this guy's brother, in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, nothing good happens. Vanessa Shelley, you should be in prison. You've known about your father like killing children this whole time, and you're
Yeah.
just like whatever. And then the fact that their bodies are in the teddy or in the animatronics makes me so mad because I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
I'm a true crime enthusiast. Like
Uh,
I'm obsessed with true crime. I'm like, cops would have smelled 5 dead bodies in like rotting inside here. There's no like, they're
Instantly.
not sealed in there. They would have smelled it instantly. It would have been reeking even to the day that like Mike Schmidt showed up. It's like, I don't know. Vanessa Shelley says verbatim, but they never thought to look in there. I'm like, you couldn't smell it. The dogs couldn't trace it. Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
That's the number one gripe with the game, honestly. You
Really?
because yeah, that ending did just kind of just got thrown on you like, "Oh, you're the bad guy. You did all this and that and you stole my brother too." Like it's
Yeah.
it's like, "What the heck?" Like and he wasn't there the whole time. Like he's like I don't hate him. I mean, I guess you kind of do hate him cuz he killed all those kids, but like
Yeah, he's a horrible
he shows up for like 5
psychopath.
minutes and dies. I'm just like, "Okay, like that
Yeah,
that was
that's not a
weak."
real resolution because I'm like, bro, you murdered. Because I guess his brother isn't one of them, so including him, we know of 6 children that he's murdered and stuffed in those suits,
Right.
and nothing ever happens. Even after then, I don't know. Vanessa Shelley should be in jail. You have been harboring a serial killer this whole time and haven't told anyone,
Mike Schmidt needs to report her honestly, because or else he's committing a crime. He knows,
right? How do you have the motivation to become a cop and you don't bring down your father who is a serial killer?
right?
Like, what? You're a horrible cop. You're a horrible person, horrible cop. You are
We shun you. We shun you,
yeah.
Vanessa.
You're implicated in these crimes.
Can't
Like, horrible
we
person.
pay for her freaking payroll, bro, our taxes.
I know. But
Uh
just because she's a hot blonde, she gets to just go around all these things and she's forgiven.
let
That's
let me
women
give you
privilege, bro.
some lore real quick to maybe justify some of the things you said because I I just I agree with you that I still don't like how they did it in the movie. I thought it was like
Yeah.
really weird. But basically in the games, something similar happens where it's not necessarily a fight between Mike Schmidt and William Afton. It's
Uh
more
huh.
of a fight between William Afton and his business partner, Henry Emily. And so that's really what this game feud is about because William Afton, the first person I believe to die in one of the suits is his actual son. Um, yeah, so
Oh.
one of his kids gets chomped by the animatronics, and
Oh, because of that cage thing?
yes, and he takes over, and then I believe the second animatronic. This is how deep the lore goes. They got into a feud. One of them creates an animatronic that's supposed to kill kids when there's only one kid in the room, right? William Afton created
Yeah.
that because he was trying to kill one of Henry Emily's kids. And so he creates this thing.
Oh.
The robot ends up killing his own daughter, and then she possesses that one as well. So it's like he
Oh.
he becomes this guy who's obsessed with creating these things, and it ends up destroying his life because you know those were his first two murders like that ever happened and they were his own kids.
Yeah.
So then he went crazy off the fact that his own inventions murder his own kids, and he basically blows up on the world and then creates those animatronics because he learned his kids took the soul of those animatronics, and then he goes out, kills the 5 kids, puts them inside the animatronics as I don't know, vengeance to the world maybe.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that movie is about. And what they show is while Henry Emily's just constantly throughout the the games basically trying to fight off William Afton because ultimately William Afton does get chomped. It's called the Springlock suit. It's called Springlock Bunny in the game. He gets chomped up and then he becomes animatronic. He's haunting them, and it's like, yeah, dude, I killed you already, but now you're just an animatronic and you're still after me. And then, the games progress to the point where they burn down Five Nights at Freddy's to kill the animatronics, but the animatronics
Mm.
fuse together and create a super animatronic, and it's all being like it becomes
What?
crazy. I know, but that's kind of the premise of like the first game where yeah, like even though they killed him, he's still alive, and that's kind of, I have some theories now going into the second movie after rewatching the first one, that you can kind of see maybe where it's gonna go. But so yeah, that's kind of the last scene. Freaking William Afton gets killed. He gets chomped up in the suit. The dog.
And then they walk away.
They drag his body away. He stabs his daughter. She's in the hospital. And yeah, what's his name? William Afton, iconic line said in a lot of the games, "I always come back," uttered at the
Mm,
end. Um, yeah. By the way, the characters are Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. Those are the
Freddy,
four.
Bonnie. Oh, okay. That seems obvious now that you've said it. I'm like, of course, Foxy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, ratings, bro. 1 out of 5. How many nights are you staying at Freddy's?
5.
5?
5 out of 10 nights.
No, 1 out of
Oh, you
5.
said you said 1 out of 5. Sorry, I'm retarded.
Okay, 1 out of 10. Okay,
1 out of 10 nights.
5.
Bro, we can't change the system. Yeah, we can't change the system.
We've done one like that before.
Which one?
Uh, let me think.
Didn't happen.
Fantastic
Pictures or it didn't
Four.
happen.
1 out of 4. I think we did for Fantastic Four.
No.
No,
Did we?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Okay, well then, if it's 1 out of 5,
Okay, fine.
then
One
it's
out of
gotta be
1 out of 10. How many nights are you staying at Five Nights at Freddy's?
5.
Okay,
Only staying 5 nights at
five
Nights at
nights
Freddy's.
for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I felt like it just really irritated me how much emotional content there was and how badly they fumbled it. Because I'm like, this is a cool concept, like
Yeah.
it's a very scary, intimidating concept. It's original. There's really no other movies I can think of that even have that concept.
Yeah.
And it seemed like all the ideas to make it just as good as like an It movie, because It movie to me is fantastic.
Yeah.
This easily could have been just as good, and it wasn't. So I don't know. I'm like disappointed in it. What about you? How many nights at Freddy's?
From 1 out of 10, I mean, I think I'm only gonna stay 6 nights at Freddy's.
6 nights at Freddy's. Wow. Yeah, I think you sound
Yeah,
like we had a
like
similar
I love the nostalgia stuff. I love seeing all the
feeling.
Easter eggs and being like, "Hey, that guy," and "Hey, that's Freddy." Like I love doing that, and I think that's kind of what carries it. I think the story, I was like, I don't really care, and like the ending was just like, like whatever. Like I really wish it was, I don't know, resolve some of the things, him feel good, whatever. And it was kind of, I felt
Yeah.
rushed. I don't know why I did, but just him showing up was like, oh, they didn't even like hint or nothing. It's just like, yep, that's the guy that we showed you earlier. And
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, still love all the Freddy stuff, all the references, which I think carries that answer. So, yeah, I think Finance Freddy's interesting. Last movie of our October Thon spooky movies. You said you had a movie ready to go, bro.
Yes. So, if you didn't know, do you know who my favorite director is of all time?
Um,
If you get this wrong, I'm probably ending the pod. Like if you don't know this by now, that's fucked up, bro.
is it not Christopher Nolan?
All right, guys, this is our last episode with First Time Pictures.
Gi- gi-
It was a good
give
run.
me one movie that he's done.
Shaun of the Dead,
Quentin Tarantino.
Baby Driver. No, bro. Scott Pilgrim. Okay, Edgar Wright, who did Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the Cornetto trilogy, Baby Driver.
Okay.
He's fantastic. He wanted to do a book accurate version of the movie The Running Man.
Okay.
So that's coming out like in 2 weeks. But the movie that was originally done in the 80s stars Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I think
Ooh.
that movie is less book accurate, but I've never seen either. Like I don't even know how well they did it or even if people like Arnold Schwarzenegger's version. But I mean, I've seen it around where it's not talked about badly, so I'm very curious to watch that one and then compare to see how my favorite director
That's fun.
does his version.
That's cool. So
Yeah.
there was an original. They're
So
remaking
catch
it.
us.
We're gonna watch the original.
Yeah, they're remaking it, but we'll watch the original and then we'll do a review on the remake as well by Edgar Wright. So tune in next week, guys, for our episode on The Running Man, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right, guys.
Peace.